Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew. I'm an alcoholic. We want to welcome you to this platform here today, regardless of what your addiction may be. We support multiple pathways to recovery, not just one, but all pathways. And whichever pathway it is that you choose, we're here to help. And we definitely want to make sure that it works for you. If you're watching this through the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page, we encourage you to share your own experience, strength, and hope, and your own words of wisdom. You never know who needs to hear what it is you just might have to say, and it could change someone's life, including your own. If you're watching this through one of the other recovery group forums out there on Facebook, we encourage you to swing by the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page. So you can become a member, just answer a few simple questions, read the rules. It's very simple. These videos, we try to put these videos out daily. But, we don't always make it every day, but every couple of days at least for sure. So today, I want to give you a real quick reminder. If you're local to the area, to the Huntington, West Virginia area, this is a personal thing for me. Tomorrow night, I will be stepping into the ring after 22 years of being out of the wrestling ring. I'll be stepping back into the ring for a special fundraiser, and I walked away from professional wrestling 22 years ago, thinking I was walking out of the ring of professional wrestling. The problem was I was walking into another ring where I got to wrestle my alcoholism for 22 years, and that almost ended badly. So tomorrow night is a big night. It's a milestone night for me personally in my recovery. I remember saying over 22 years, the best days are behind me, not in front of me. I'll never be able to do the things I used to do. Well, this is, if nothing else, this is proof, not only to me, but hopefully to others, that recovery is possible. I'm doing the very things, I've been doing the very things that I said I was never going to be able to do. Matter of fact, I should even say it, probably need to say it more like, God is doing for me what I could not do for myself. So I'm just incredibly excited. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at the Barbersville Amphitheater in Barbersville, West Virginia. If you're local to the area, I encourage you to come down and check it out. It's going to be a great time. I want to talk today about Dr. Jekly and Mr. Hyde. Bill references, he's describing the alcoholic, Dr. Jekly and Mr. Hyde. And I think back, every time I read that passage in the book, I think back to, Dr. Jekly. Dr. Jekly was a very nice, well-respected man, very caring, very loving. Everybody loved Dr. Jekly. But he had some fringe ideas way out there, and it was as far as science. And these ideas that he tried to practice and implement, it turned him into Mr. Hyde, who was evil, malice. He was spiteful. He had no remorse, no regrets for his evil crimes and evil ways. He became a totally different person. I mean, polar opposite person. And that's why Bill references him in the big book, because that was me. See, when I was sober, I thought I was a nice guy. I felt like I was a nice guy. I think I'm a nice guy. But every time I took a drink, I turned into somebody different. I turned into my polar opposite. I turned into a person that there's no way in fuck I'd want to be around. So I didn't want to be around anybody because I knew my temper was shortened. My temper flare was shortened. I had a short fuse, and I knew people would piss me off, so I just wanted to be by myself. I drank in isolation. Every time I took that drink, every time you might take that drug, do you turn into a different person? Are you the same person you were when you're clean and sober? And if you know that you turn into a different person, if you know that you turn into somebody else, you turn into that Mr. Hyde or Mrs. Hyde. If you know you turn into somebody totally different, why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep letting Mr. Hyde come back up? I would now, looking back, I would much rather be Dr. Jekly. Rather than Mr. Hyde, but for the longest time, I couldn't think of it like that because the alcohol, that my addiction had taken over my thoughts. It had rewired my brain. The neuroplasticity is what they call it, right? Creating these new neural pathways. So I couldn't think of it like that. But whenever I came into the rooms and I learned, the things I learned through the program of action known as Alcoholics Anonymous, I started seeing it, and I realized, no wonder people don't really want to hang around with me. I was a totally different person. That person was uncaring. That person was egotistical, selfishly self-centered, as the book says. I mean, everything Bill describes as the alcoholic, dude, right here, Mr. Self-Diagnosis, right here in the box, right? I'm thankful today now that I don't have to be Mr. Hyde. I can be cool, laid back, relaxed Dr. Jekyll, and I'm okay with that. But it comes down to, if you know you're turning into a different person, why not just stop? Well, it's hard. I understand that. I, of all people, understand. Anybody who struggles with addiction, we all understand that. The problem is it's our addiction. It's our addiction. When we're out in the madness, when we're drinking and drugging, we don't think about the harm we're causing to others. We don't think about, the way we're putting other people out. All we care about is ourselves. Getting our next drink. That's where I was at. But it took me coming into the rooms. It took me learning and understanding that, I had this allergy, this physical allergy to alcohol. You might have that physical allergy to drug. Again, keep in mind, I'm not telling you you're a drug addict. I'm not telling you you're an alcoholic. That's a decision you have to come to your own realization on. Nobody can tell you that. I had to finally admit that, okay, I can't stop. I can't stop becoming that Mr. Hyde, who I didn't want to be anymore. Matter of fact, after 22 years, I realized I didn't even recognize Dr. Jekyll anymore. All I saw every day was Mr. Hyde. I'm thankful today that I feel, I'll say it like that, I feel like I'm back to being Dr. Jekyll, and I'm okay with that. So let me ask you this. And this is a great line from probably one of the greatest modern day presidents we've had, Ronald Reagan. He was in a debate with Jimmy Carter, and he said, I'm paraphrasing, basically comes down to this. Ask yourself, are you better off today than what you were 4 years ago? Well, I'm going to ask you the same Reagan question, but just slightly modified. Are you better off now than what you were a year ago? If you're not, that tells me there's a problem. Are you better off now than what you were a week ago? If you've noticed that it's progressively getting worse, why not take action? Why not take action? What do you have to lose? Your life? It's kind of important, right? I just go back, matter of fact, I even mentioned this to somebody the other day. If you are absolutely comfortable with your health, your emotional state, your physical health, your physical state, if you're comfortable with all those, and you're comfortable with your life as it is right now, congratulations. You may not be an alcoholic. You may not be a drug addict. If you're comfortable with it and you're good spending the rest of your natural born life exactly as you are today, if you're that comfortable with it, hey, I applaud you. I applaud you. Because I remember 2 years ago, I wasn't comfortable with it. I wasn't comfortable with where I was at. But now, shit, yeah. Matter of fact, this is how I plan on going out, right? I'm very comfortable with it. But if you ask yourself that question, that very simple question, are you comfortable with the life you're living right now? Everything from your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, your physical health, if you're comfortable with that, and then the question becomes, are you willing to live exactly as you are right now for the rest of your life? Are you comfortable with living exactly right now, as you are right now for the rest of your life? If you're comfortable with that, congratulations. You may not be an alcoholic and you may not be a drug addict. But let's be honest, if you're not comfortable, you may have a problem. I would encourage you, find a big book, read the big book, find a sponsor and work the steps. Just as a gentleman told me a long time ago, 2 years ago, he told me, and I did, and I'm thankful that I took his advice and did that, because I learned an awful lot about my addiction to alcohol, and I also learned, even more importantly, I learned a lot about me. So I'll leave you guys with that. I hope you guys have a kick-ass day. Thank you for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. This keeps me sober for sure. Again, if you're local to the area, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at the Barbersville Amphitheater in Barbersville, West Virginia. This is a huge milestone for me, personally speaking, in my recovery. I want to encourage you guys to come on out and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And for some reason, I think it's going to be a lot painful too for me, but not for you guys. You guys will laugh, I'm sure. So anyway, I'll let you guys go. Hope you have a kick-ass day. Remember, guys, you cannot get drunk if you don't take that first drink.